it's perfect for the fans, perfect size, perfect time. We both developed a ton. There's obviously the stigma, he's Luke Griffith's cousin, so that's obviously a big feather to get in the cap. So yeah, I'm gonna go and give it everything I got and hopefully get the win. There's always tons of pressure. Every next match is the biggest match of your life. That's like the matches, the time where I'm looking on the mat and like looking at the screen on me there, that's like my favorite part in life. That's basically what I'm trying to live for, and that keeps me going every time. Like when I was in Turkey, I had like a moment where I got the guy in a kimura and I realized like this is exactly where I want to be in life. And I knew from there, swept him, took his back, and that was the match done.
I mean, I've been watching Jason. He's improved tremendously his technique, but at the same time, so have I. I mean, I watched my match and my strategy's completely changed. My style of jiu-jitsu has completely changed. The pacing at which I go and which I actually enter guards and try to pass guards is completely changed. So I think I expect nothing less that it's going to be a different match. It has to be a different match, both from Jason and I. Jason being a really good athletic, able to invert grabs onto any submission, and for me, just the classic style of pressure passing, the classic Griffith style, getting to the back, finishing. It should be a pretty interesting matchup. Yeah, I mean, from the light heavyweight event, the moment I saw Jason beat Brandon, I was like, okay, cool. This is definitely someone on my list, and definitely someone that in the near future I'm going to need to prepare for and prepare hard for to try and take that title. So yeah, he's been on my radar for a very, very, very long time. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at the first of our 2 title fights. A rematch a few years in the making with gold on the line. Please welcome first the challenger from the blue corner, representing Quan Vessels Academy, Aidan Griffith. His opponent is the 2-time light heavyweight champion, all the way from Griffith, representing PE Submission Fighting Academy. Please welcome the champion, Jason Randt. Your referee is Bobby Karajanides.
Well, folks, you heard it from CS. The first title fight of the night is underway. The exciting Jason Randt gets back onto the stage and back-to-back shows, just wanting to put the title up on the line, just wanting to fight the best out there. And these 2 competitors have met each other previously in a stalemate, but I doubt that this will be a stalemate tonight.
I don't think this one's going the distance either way. 2 big boys again, and young guns, so to speak. You know, Aidan 21, Jason 22, making their way, you know, and I think I'll said it at the start of the broadcast, you know, these guys are living a life a lot of us wish we could. Oh, been there before. It's not always fun. It's great with the elevated stage for the viewers, for the competitors. It can be a bit tricky. I know there's been calls to do a pit style a la CJR, so it should be clever, it should be good. But yeah, Jason jumping guard. Jason's obviously got good leg attacks. Straight in on a leg off that, but let's see. Aidan should be well versed in the legs, you know, coming out of cornerstone. Jason looking for that toe hold. Okay, really nicely out by Aidan. Aidan on top now. This should be quite interesting because Jason doesn't mind to absorb pressure, you know. Yeah. I think we saw when he fought Cam, he absorbed pressure for about 6 minutes. He doesn't need a lot of space and a lot of time to finish, and we know he can absorb a lot of pressure for quite amount of time. So it's going to be interesting to see how Aidan handles that as well with his output of energy. You know, being on top is not always energy efficient, given if you can't pass, you know, you got to start chaining it up. So it should be interesting to see.
And just a quick highlight there of the flexibility that Jason offers, trying to throw that top leg over or behind Aidan's head. You know, renowned for his buggy chokes and go-go platters.
Yeah, his favorite submission, I think he listed, is the buggy choke, which should be illegal. Aidan looking to secure an underhook, which he's got there. So I think he's got the underhook and the crossface, which should make Jason's life a little bit more difficult. Okay, Jason's swam his underhook back inside. So
Aidan looking to isolate that arm, get underneath the elbow.
yeah. Aidan can almost backstep here. Yeah, I think he's looking for it as soon as those legs open. He just needs to get his knee line out. And yeah, there we go. Now he can drive across. He has two options here, really. He can start to drive across and pressure Jason, flattening the hips out, which I think he's looking at doing.
Yeah, found himself in that quarter guard position.
Yeah, which is quite a strong position on top, right? So
And lots of downward pressure.
Does he have the underhook on the far side? I think he does. Yeah, he does.
Far side underhook and a deep crossface there.
Looking to pummel that leg on the inside and almost go to to a butterfly mount.
You know, but as you mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Jason been in this position before, absorbing lots of pressure from other competitors.
Yeah, I think we heard our next title challenger basically say, Mr. Warren King, that, you know, Cam's one of the best he's rolled in the country. And Cam does move super well, also a former opponent of mine. So I do know, I can talk from experience, his guard passing is super good. He clamps really hard in the half guard, and you know, I think Jason being able to absorb that pressure will stand him in good stead tonight. But Aidan passing into side control, so it should be interesting to see where he goes from here. It looks like he's going almost to like north-south. Be interesting to see what he'll do from here. Jason trying to invert. Okay, back to square one.
Very good job there by Jason. You know, walking into this match, Aidan did talk about having to carry the Griffith's name and the pressure that was on him to ensure that he makes his own name on the stage, so he'd be looking to do so tonight.
Look, obviously a hard road to follow given what Luke's been able to achieve overseas, you know, but I believe everybody has their own path, and Aidan can forge his own here tonight if he takes the W. Jason looking to almost wrap around the back there, and Aidan stifling that with kind of a heavy stiff arm into the face there. Jason looking for a triangle entry. Aidan doing a good job of limiting the ability of Jason's legs here, and what he's able to, how he's able to off balance or enter into any submission. Aidan looking to stuff the legs. Jason just so flexible and able to post so well. You know, he's got really, really good frames. Obviously coming out of PESFA with Chris Bright, the fundamentals will be there. Although with Jason, it's not always, doesn't always seem the case, but I'm sure Chris has tried to drill them into him as best as he can. Two solid corners here from both teams. Chris, Johan and Dill for Jason. And then obviously Richie, JP and Milan for Aidan.
Yeah, and in the likes of Jason, just a reminder for the folks at home, this is his 11th match, double digits on WTA mat, one ahead of your teammate Dill, and then as we get the final fight of the night, Reese Vandermeer at 13 matches on WTA.
Wow. Here we go, straight into reverse close guard. Should be interesting because now this is really, really difficult to deal with. Aidan's basically got to get one of his arms between Jason's legs to break it. If he doesn't, he can either be swept or obviously leg locked. So it's going to be really interesting to see how Aidan deals with this and where Jason goes from here. He's got a lot of entries into, he can go into heel hook, toe hold, A block. From what he's from his hand positioning there, I think he's going to try set up the toe hold, if I can see correctly. Yes. Needs to take that foot into Aidan's. Let's see where they go from here. Aidan can also stand from here. Jason almost losing that reverse close guard. You can hear both corners basically telling how to stifle and what to do to enter that reverse close guard again. Great job there by Aidan to stop that from coming through, and now got Jason's hips in a very, very precarious position. He's basically past the guard. There we go. Clamp the hips. But again, Jason just so versatile and so flexible. Great frames. Great regarding here by Jason as well.
Absolutely relentless by both competitors.
Nice technical match to watch here by both guys. You know, just seeing how they're countering each other's positions. if your clock jumped there, folks, it's just because of the stop for a little bit. So that is the correct time that you're seeing now on your TV. 3. Jason back in on a leg. Jason almost needs to shoot his hips higher when entering that leg, so he can almost clamp above the knee. I think Aidan's been able to stop that to an extent, but I think if Jason can shoot it up a bit quicker, he'll be able to get a good look at the leg. Aidan back to that pressure passing now. Jason controlling that outside arm very nicely to stop that crossface from coming in. But there it is. It's been a winning position for Aidan most of the night, so, you know, 2 minutes, 3 minutes to go.
Right at the edge of his corner, getting instructions from both JP Base and Coach Reggie Kwan. Steps into that quarter guard position, still hasn't completed the mount. Trying to reach for that near
he
side.
needs that underhook, yeah. I think every time he gets the underhook, the knee gets sucked back in, and every time he gets the knee out, the underhook gets pulled back in. So the clock stopped, folks. 2 minutes 51. There we are back. 2 minutes left for these guys. Jason also, again, very flexible, grabbing that foot, bringing it over the top. Obviously looking to enter a triangle, trying to post off that far arm. But very, very good defense from Aidan. Again, at this point, both guys obviously going to start thinking about overtime. Jason's had his fair share. I'm not sure if Aidan's been to overtime. I know he's done the quintet. He's had his 2 matches, I think, or 3 matches thereafter. And I think both of them have gone via heel hook, if I'm not mistaken, for Aidan.
Yeah, so...
Jason looking... very, very good. Very nice look there for Jason.
Previously,
Aidan able to pull out.
1 draw in the quintet and then 2 wins in his previous matches.
Okay.
None of which going into extra time.
Jason again bringing that head over the that leg over the top.
You know, despite us having our first 10-minute match of the night underway, both competitors looking quite fresh out there still.
Both are young, both should be fresh. You know, this is their job. So I think both guys are grappling professionally now, as you would call it. Jason looking good here. Aidan's done really, really well. That's the 3rd entry Jason's had in the short amount of time, and like Aidan's kind of stuffed all of them. But yeah, I think, as we were saying, both guys are now professional grapplers, looking to make their mark. I know Jason's very active on the AJP tour. I know he's just recently been to Turkey and won over there, so that's really good for him. And I know, obviously, Aidan wants to go overseas and train with Luke again, I believe. So, you know, the more competition for these guys, the better. 20 seconds. So most guys are thinking about now, both guys should be thinking about the overtime. Unless there's someone can pull a rabbit out of a hat here, I think that's the way we're looking. Quite counter to our prediction before the match.
Quite counter to our prediction.
I really
curse
didn't
of the commentators.
Yeah, I really didn't think this one was going the distance, but we're going to have 2 overtimes in a row here, folks.
Aidan winning the coin toss, looking to take back first.
So again, another back take. I think there's only ever been 2 arm bar attempts in WTA history. Well, I was one of them, regrettably so. Mistake, I think, but we live and we learn. Again, so Jason almost wants to go to his left side. He needs to come up and over to the left side. But now he's got to worry about that body triangle. So he's got to look to kill that body triangle using his feet. Once he can do that, he can start to turn his hips to the sky, drive up and kind of turn in. But it looks like Aidan's almost under the chin there. Aidan's body triangle on the wrong side though. Jason almost has to scissor his legs to get under the one leg so he can bring the legs in front of his, if that makes sense. So like this, he's not going to escape that body. He's just making that body triangle tighter by pushing that foot back. You know, obviously fighting the hands. I think Jason will eat a choke to an extent. You know, now we're in Aidan's world here. He's on the underhook side, body triangle up. Jason's got to try and get those feet. That's not the way to defend the body triangle. There we go. That's what he's got to do. He's got to get those.
Doing a lot better.
He's got to
job
scissor those legs and get those feet in front of his hips.
Correct.
Without that, he's not going to be able to get out. So Aidan now with back control for over 1 minute and 10 seconds. You know, this is very, very long. Jason's either going to have to finish him or match the time.
A shake of the head there by Aidan. Saw something on the camera, but doing a very good job in locking this position down.
Yeah.
It's going to be difficult to find an escape with that body triangle on the bottom side.
Jason's doing the wrong thing, pushing that foot back with his foot. He needs to. For sure, for sure. I think Jason, you know, let's see what happens with the #1 contender fight, but I think Jason's proven that he can step in at any time, any place, and I think if anybody deserves a rematch, given what he's done when he's stepping up, it's Jason. So, you know, it's a game of inches with the overtime, and unfortunately it goes this way sometimes. You know, it was a pretty even match up until that point. Big win for Aidan, big things for him coming forward. So, you know, I think this division's had a steady champion that's been defending. Let's hope it stays that way, you know, with Aidan moving forward. So maybe next up, I don't know what Alan and Justin are thinking, but maybe Aidan versus JP. Let's see what happens.
Well, folks, we head back to CS to interview our victor and new champion, Aidan Griffith.
Aidan, how does it sound? And you must be absolutely delighted with the performance, but Jason made you work extremely hard for that.
Oh yeah, he made me work. Jason's a really tough opponent. I'm so grateful that he actually gave me the opportunity to do this after competing against Cam in a flippin' hard match. No, Jason made me work. I was confident I would get the finish in the regulation, but he put me to my paces. So big shout out to Jason, guys. He's an awesome champ, and I hope we get to rematch him soon. Big shout out to Jason.
Aidan Griffith, congratulations, well done. We have a new champion, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together for Aidan Griffith.
This is my new all-electric car. It's the perfect choice for my business commute.
It makes it ideal for the school run or a quick pop to the shops.
And even though they're super compact, the van version is ideal for my business. It's even got a reversing camera.
You can charge it on a standard plug in just 4 to 6 hours, and it has a range of over 150 kilometres.
It's so easy to drive, and as my very first car, it's even easier to park. Plus, it's eco-friendly and I can connect my phone.
It has 0 emissions, remote locking, a comfortable interior, a great panoramic view, but with safety cage design and impact absorption.
But best of all, it's one of the most economical cars to buy and run.
The new City Blitz, all-electric car, perfect for urban life.